everybody can hear me. Victoria, can you hear me? All right, so today we are going to make an arrangement. It's going to be for a door. It's actually, I'm going to work on our porch outside and make it more springy or more summery to kind of go over into the summer. So last year, I found this really cute container, and I don't know how well you can see it, but it has little bumblebees on the container, and it almost looks like little honeycomb, the little print that the metal is. And so it's an open metal container that we are going to hang on a door outside, and I thought we could fill it with some artificial balloons. When you come on, tell us hello. Tell us how you're doing today and tell us where you're from. We love to know that. So we are going to get started with this. Now again, this is just for our door here at the shop. So I'm not going to do a whole lot of gluing and making sure that it all stays together because I'm not shipping it out to someone, or I'm not making it necessarily to sell. Now, if anybody's interested in buying it, we can go back and glue everything into place. But I always like to be able to repurpose my containers. So that is the reason I am going to not glue all of the pieces together. I'm going to start out with a piece of foam. So this is just a piece of hard styrofoam. It's just green styrofoam we ordered from the wholesaler. And I actually, when I ordered this, I ordered the wrong thing. I actually ordered it way too thick, but it works out perfect for this arrangement because I don't have to wedge several pieces of the floral foam down into my container. I'm going to start out by using a little bit of Spanish moss. Now, I would love if I had some sheet moss, because sheet moss is green and it would have really looked pretty, but I don't have any, so we're going to use a little bit of Spanish moss. So I'm just taking that moss and I am just trying to cover that foam.
You have a ton of hellos.
Hello friends. Thank you for being here today with us.
Miss Mary Lou says she's doing good today, and she's asking how are you doing?
We're having a great day, Miss Mary Lou. We have actually, Victoria and I have just been busy bees around here. We've been working on different videos. We have been working on, what all have we worked on today? We worked on some we still have some memorial work that we've been doing. We've been working on those. Okay, Mommy. Okay, so I'm going to have to figure out, I'm going to get some more moss. Give me 2 seconds.
Hi, Miss Donna. Welcome. Let's see. Hi, Miss Rona. She says, so happy I caught you live. I watch all your videos but can never catch you live. Well, welcome to our live. Let's see. Miss Joe says, hi Monty, it's Joe in the UK. I've had an exhausting day in London walking around and looking at the fabulous installs at the Chelsea in bloom. I've sent you some photos to look at. Oh, Joe just sent you some. She says that she's been walking around and looking at the fabulous installs at the Chelsea in bloom, and she sent you some
How
pictures.
Amazing. She had told me that she was going to send us some pictures, so I'm so excited to see them. Thank you so much for sharing those with us. All right, so what I did, gosh, it makes my nose itch so bad when you get to messing with moss. I just took a handful of moss and I tucked it right down into that container, just like that. I'm going to leave this moss on this foam and I'm going to work it very carefully. This is harder than it looks, guys. I'm trying to cover this container, but it is harder than it looks. It looks like it would just be easy, but it's not easy.
Miss Julie says hello. She says she's from St. Louis and it's been a while since she's caught us live.
Miss Julie, I'm so glad you're here with us. Thank you for watching. Okay, I'm gonna figure this out, I promise. I'm sorry that that we should have thought about this before we started. You know what? It's going to be so much easier just to get more narrow foam. I apologize, guys.
Miss Rona says, thank you. I love watching Monty design. Oh, I'll tell her when she comes back. Yes, she's so much fun. I enjoy watching her design too. It's always fun to see the little creations, like the ideas that we have, and then actually seeing them come to life and seeing how they turn out by the end of the live. It's always fun.
Okay. I got us some more narrow foam. And this is white foam, and it's going to sound bad when I go to break it. And you should never cut toward yourself. That was not smart because you could cut yourself. So always be careful when using a knife.
Miss Rona caught us live on YouTube for the first time.
So glad. Thank you for watching.
And says, I love watching Monty design.
Thank you. Okay, so what I did was I just took a narrow piece of foam. Yes, it's white, and I don't love the white, but that's what I could get at the time. So I just took that foam and I put it towards the back, and I am just taking my moss now and I'm covering it. Now you can kind of see the white through the metal. So I'm just taking this little hyacinth stick. You can take anything that you have and just push it right down into.
Miss Julie says, I like seeing you problem solve too.
I'm telling you, you got to figure it out, don't you? That was harder than I expected. Okay, so there is my foam down in there, and it's wedged in pretty good with that moss. I am just going to take, what I'm doing with this little stick is I'm sticking it through those holes and covering that foam. I just don't really, anytime you make any kind of arrangement, I want you to always think about covering up those mechanics. You don't want anybody to come along and go, oh, I see the foam right through that. So whatever you can do, try to cover up your mechanics. It's just important. You want a finished product. Okay, so there we go. I've got it completely covered, and it's just a Spanish moss. Again, you can use any kind of moss you get your hands on. And today we had Spanish, so that's what we used. So the flowers, Miss Victoria picked out for me. She picked out some beautiful sunflowers. So I'm not sure where these came from, but they are so pretty. I've probably got them off of a floral truck. But aren't they beautiful? And we really thought the sunflowers, of course the sunflowers go great with the bumblebees. Victoria picked out some anemones because they have those fun little dark centers. And black and white so pretty together. And I think it's so bumblebee. And then we decided to put some pops of fuchsia because why not? And fuchsia's happy. So these are some stems that we had in the back. These are the daisies that we got yesterday from Legs Wholesale. And y'all, this bush cost $2.50. And I just love it. It's just happy and pretty, and so we decided to add a little fuchsia. Now, I'm going to put it outside on our door, and I still have some forsythia up outside. Now, in Mississippi, forsythia bloomed in February. I realize that it is not in season right now, but it matches what I have up out there, and I thought that the yellow would be fine. And so, if you don't like the forsythia, I completely understand, but for me, I like forsythia, and I think it works really well throughout the summer. But I understand it is out of season, so I'm just telling you, I know it. I'm using it anyway. So I'm going to start out with a little bit of greenery. So here is our hodgepodge. I don't know, can they see this bucket? Mm-hmm. Here is our hodgepodge of greenery that we have collected and stuck in this bucket. So I said, Victoria, we're just going to grab this bucket and make it work. So that's why we have a hodgepodge bucket. This is a stem that I got off of a floral truck. It's called Tremont Floral. If you ever want some pretty higher end blooms. Tremont Floral carries some beautiful higher end blooms that would actually work for home decor and such. So I'm going to take this foliage, I'm going to cut it in half.
Bonita says, Monty, you have me hooked on yin yang daisies. The girls loved them for prom.
Oh, I am telling you, are they not the prettiest little white daisies with dark centers? I love them. They make me happy. So I took this little stem and I cut it apart. I'm going to set this greenery on the floor so you can kind of see what I might be doing. So I just took that greenery and tucked it right there. And then I'm going to take the piece that I cut off, and I'm going to press it in kind of to the side. Okay? Next I'm going to come in with some silver dollar eucalyptus. Now I believe this silver dollar eucalyptus came from Shein. I believe that's right. And so that's a very nice stem. I don't know if you've ever shopped at Shein, but they have inexpensive greenery, inexpensive flowers. Now their flowers are all pretty small, but this was a pretty nice stem. So I'm going to cut it apart, and I'm just tucking it into this foam. Now the wonderful thing about permanent botanicals or artificial blooms is that most often they have a wire in them, so you can kind of manipulate them and twist them and turn them and make them do exactly what you want to, which is a little hard to do with fresh flowers. And so that's why I enjoy working with permanents, because you can tell it what to do and it minds. And not everything minds, does it? Next I'm going to come in with these really pretty branches. I don't know where they came from. Probably off a truck, because we have several. So I'm just going to, the wonderful part is you can kind of manipulate them and kind of make them be wherever you want to. I'm just going to take one branch. Be sure to pull your tags off. I'm going to go ahead and cut that stem a little shorter. And I'm just tucking that right into my foam. Okay, so that's already pretty, in my opinion. I think that's kind of pretty. Do you? That's already pretty. I'm going to take this little bush, and I've cut off of it before. I like the lightness of this and how airy, and I don't know, and I like the texture. So I thought that's kind of a fun texture, and it kind of it changes up that color a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and cut pieces off. Go ahead.
Miss Mary Lou asks, you don't have to hot glue these flowers, Monty?
Mary Lou, this is really just for us here at the shop. And so I wasn't exactly sure if I was going to want to keep this for a long period of time outdoors, but it's really just for the shop. Now, absolutely, you would want to hot glue these things. If it's going to go to someone, if I'm going to sell it, I absolutely hot glue everything. Make sure that that foam is permanently attached to this container. But I wanted to be able to change this up in a few months and have fun with it, so therefore I decided not to glue them. But yes, ma'am, you do want to glue them.
Miss Vicky and Miss Linda, they mentioned that I did reels on YouTube, and so yes, I did a few, and it was fun.
Well, Victoria is so timid when it comes to showing her beautiful face, and so she's so funny, and it's completely okay. You know, for me, I'm like, psh, I may not be pretty, but I'm going to get on this video and I'm going to do this. But Victoria's so timid, and so she says, I can do reels, but it makes me nervous, and I don't like showing my face. And I'm like, Victoria, they love seeing your pretty face.
No, I don't know. It feels weird.
It feels weird. She said, people can see me. Well, I said, girl, I take enough pictures of you. They see you anyway. Okay, so this actually is a stem. It has, if you look at it, it has 6 large sunflowers and 3 little buds. And so what's really nice about it is you can cut each individual stem off. Now it's a little pricey and I really can't remember where it came from, but it's $30. So it's $10 for the 3 little blooms if you broke it down into, it's called, into each bloom. But I'm going to take and push, oh, I love the sunflowers.
Heather Reeves says, "You are so funny, Monty. A joy to watch."
Well, I mean, I'm not as pretty as Victoria for sure.
No. You're beautiful.
Oh, goodness. My pretty girl. But that's why I have never pressured her. She has to decide on her own. If she wants to do it, she can certainly do it. But she gets so nervous. And I'm like, my goodness, Victoria. You're pretty sail. And her Mimi loves it. Does she not, Victoria? Mimi is so excited when this girl decides to do a video. She's like, now Victoria, I need you to do and she's tutoring you on how you need to do it.
You need to dress this way. Make sure you wear a pretty dress next time.
A pretty dress?
Yes.
And you're like, Mimi, I work. We don't wear dresses and high heel shoes in here.
Miss Dawn says, "Victoria, we know what you look like, LOL."
I know, right? With your pretty self.
I know. I've been on here before. I don't know why it makes me nervous sometimes.
Okay, so what I did here was I cut the top 2 blooms off, and I just separated them. So I'm just pressing this guy right over here into this foam, and I have to hold my mouth just right to get it down in there. Okay. So there's my sunflowers. I'm not going to use this 3rd stem yet. I'm going to put it to the side.
Miss Rona says, "I think you're very pretty and I love your personality."
See, silly goosey.
Oh, she's talking to me.
Oh.
Miss Mary
See,
Lou.
Victoria, I told you were pretty.
Miss Mary Lou says, "You're both beautiful people, inside and out. Love you both."
Thank you, Mary Lou. Thank you, ma'am.
And Miss Julie says, "Monty, you're beautiful, and Victoria, you're beautiful. You both bring me joy."
Thank you. I didn't say that really to fish. I'm sorry that I...
No.
Okay, so these are anemones, and they always remind me, this is so silly. Victoria and I have been listening to Disney music all day. And we're planning a trip to Disney, secretly. And anyway, because our boys won't love it, and we're just telling them we're going. Not really, anytime soon, but we will do it again. So anemones, when you say anemones, it always reminds me of Nemo. I don't know why, because him being so sweet and cute. Anyway, so that's way off the subject. I just took that full stem and I just tucked him right down in there, and I thought that I would take another stem and just kind of tuck it deep. I'm going to cut that stem. I'm using my handy dandy blue cobalt snips, which I find to be the very best I have ever used. But I just cut that and I'm just tucking it right down into that foam.
Oh, Miss Brooklyn says, "I just love sunflowers. Wow."
Aren't they pretty? Those are such happy sunflowers.
Allison says, "You can tell those are high quality sunflowers."
Yes, it is a high quality, and I really like that. My little stem of greenery came off over here, so I'm going back in and putting it back on my bush because I didn't want to throw him away. Okay, next I have another anemone, but I'm going to stand back and look to see if I need him. Next, we're going to use these little fuchsia daisies. Now, I don't love the foliage on them. So what I'm going to do, and the reason I don't love the foliage is because it really is much different than the higher end foliage that I'm using in this. I'm just going to slip that right off that stem. If you don't like the foliage, you'll pull it right off. Now, you can actually keep that foliage if you want to, or you can throw it away. But if you keep it, you can always use it for something else.
Miss Hope asks, "Where did you get the I can't say that word. Anemones?"
Anemones? You sound like you're trying to be Nemo.
I say anemone.
I believe that the anemones, if I am not correct, I think that they came from Direct Floral. But I'm not absolutely positive. We've had them for quite a while. Actually, Victoria, was it this week? Did you do it yesterday? Work on the back room? Or the last week?
I think that was last week.
Anyway, Victoria got lost in the back room in the artificials. I mean, she was lost all day. We didn't even hear from her all day long. But she came across those beautiful anemones and that we had in all. So what happens is we separate everything into color. And when you separate them into buckets of color, they tend to get lost in the shuffle. And so Victoria she found them. Mm-hmm. And so they are really pretty. I want to say, I believe I may have ordered those from Direct Floral, but I'm not positive. So I'm just sliding this greenery off. If you love the greenery, you keep the greenery. It's completely okay. This is just because I just don't love the greenery. So I'm sliding it off. But you never know what you could use the greenery for. Now, if it's going to get in your way, you throw that right away.
Allison says, ladies, I will go to Disney with you anytime. I'm way overdue for a trip, and they have several new rides.
Oh, it is so fun.
Mm-hmm.
It is so fun. We really enjoy it. Okay, I'm just going to take some of this fuchsia and pink, and I am just going to tuck these happy little colors right in. Now, I don't know that I'm going to use a whole lot of them. Go in.
Miss Dawn asks, is this arrangement for a customer or for the store?
Miss Dawn, it is for just the flower shop. I'm just going to put it on our door outside. I think that's enough. Let's put some of these guys. So I'm going to I think this was just a filler flower that was on a bush. And so we just happened to use the larger blooms, but didn't use this little bit of filler. So we're going to tuck some of these in. I don't know if I love those daisies. Do you? Do you think they take away those daisies? I'm pulling them out. I thought I liked them.
Miss Cheryl says, yay, I've caught you live 22 minutes in.
Wow! So glad you're here.
Oh, Miss Debbie asks, how much would this arrangement be?
Debbie, I am not exactly sure. I'll have to figure it out. So this container I bought last season, like last year. It was on the spring sale. So I probably got it for 50% off on the container. And I still have the sticker on the back. The container was $24.99. And then the cost per stem, the filler flower here that I'm putting in is $1 a stem. The sunflowers were $10 a stem, and there were 3 flowers per stem. So that's $20 on the suns. The anemones, I want to say the anemones were $6 a stem. So I don't know. I would have to use a calculator because my mind will not go there.
Miss Hope says some royal blue hydrangeas tucked in would be beautiful.
Royal blue would be pretty.
Mm-hmm. Miss Linda says she didn't really like the daisies either.
Thanks, Miss Linda. I didn't. I was like, I don't think that even helps, did it? It kind of took away, and I didn't want it to take away. It's important that it...
Miss Bess Hartley, it's her birthday. She's watching from
Well,
Georgia.
happy birthday. She's watching from where?
Georgia.
Happy birthday, Beth. Happy birthday
Bess.
to you.
Bess.
What?
Bess Hartley.
Bess. Happy birthday, Miss Bess. Yay, I'm so glad you joined us on your birthday. Okay, do we need blue in there? Should I go see if we have any blue? Give me a second.
We do have some left there.
This purple's kind of pretty. Ooh, it is pretty from over here. Mm-hmm. This purple's pretty. What do you think about that?
It is pretty.
It's kind of purpley blue.
Mm-hmm.
Bess is the cutest name. I have an Aunt Bess. The sweetest Aunt Bess. I love the name Bess. Mm-hmm. What about these purple? Those are purple hydrangeas, kind of a purpley blue.
Ooh, yes.
Let's try those. This was, okay, so you can see how lovely this bush is. But what happens is we take and use the different stems, and sometimes a few stems get left. And so that's what happened with this fuchsia colored filler. Oh, I really like how this is turning out. It's really pretty. So I'm going to take Oh, I think this is going to be pretty. Look how happy that is.
Allison says, I love that filler flower you just put in.
Isn't that pretty? I think it looks really good.
Miss Heather and Miss Rona says that they also like it better without the date.
Yes, I agree. Thanks, guys. Ooh, that's pretty. Does that look okay? What do you think? What are people saying?
I like it. I think that those are pretty. Miss Mary Lou says, love this. So pretty. Like the colors together.
Thank you, Miss Mary Lou. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so there we go. There's our blues and our yellows and our fuchsia. I'm going to set these flowers to the side and let's make a fun bow. And I believe I'm going to have to get some wire because I don't think... Okay, I'm throwing this away because I don't know what I'm going to do with plastic grass. And it's so plastic.
I love Miss Debbie Hale. I'm so sorry. Anytime, guys, if I mispronounce your name, I'm so sorry. She says, love the purple.
Thank you.
I love it too. I think it's pretty.
Y'all look, forgive my squeaky shoes. I know somebody's going to fuss about my squeaky shoes. I don't know why they're so squeaky on this floor.
Miss Rona, the purple is beautiful. I agree. I love that in there.
You want to check our time? Where are we on our time before that camera goes dark?
6 minutes.
Okay. All right, so we have the cutest. I got a little carried away with bumblebees. We have the cutest bumblebee ribbon. I believe this bumblebee ribbon came from the Craft Outlet. I got actually both of these varieties from the Craft Outlet. So look, it's got a white background, and then it has the little honeycomb, and then it has the bees. And I think it's so sweet. Why am I whispering? I'm strange. Okay, so this is the top ribbon. This is what we call number 9. It's about an inch, an inch and a half. Number 9 ribbon. This is number 40, and it's just a little honeycomb. And so I thought they were perfect together. So I'm just going to make a loopy bow. So I'm going to take my ribbon, and I'm holding my ribbon between my thumb and my forefinger, and I'm going to make a loop, twist, a loop, twist, a loop.
The Lyrical Lily says, I'm doing a live arrangement for a graduation party in a cowboy boot vase with yellow sunflowers, blue delphinium, and red alstroemeria lilies.
Oh, it's
very similar
perfect
to what you're making.
It's perfect. Those are beautiful colors together. And don't you love, did we go dark? I knew we were going to. Don't you love the cowboy boot? I think back a year or two ago, someone asked me to do an arrangement in a cowboy boot. And we did, and it was so cute. But I love that idea, and your colors are fantastic. Is it coming back? I'm sorry, guys. We went dark. This silly camera.
Okay, we're back.
I don't know why this camera goes dark. So what I've done is I've made my bow. I've made my little bee ribbon bow. I'm going to take and add my honeycomb on the back. So I'm doing exactly the same. I just laid that ribbon right behind that bow. Make a loop, twist, a loop, twist, a loop.
Miss Julie says, I love the flowers and ribbon choices. So fun for summer.
Yay! Isn't that fun? This was all Victoria's idea.
Doris Black says, good afternoon. I love the colors. I especially like the vase. I had a birthday on Sunday. She turned 85.
Happy birthday a few days late. Happy birthday to you. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to have to cut these tails because I don't want the tails to cover our bees. I have to tuck it here. I think that's what I'll do. I'll tuck him over there so you can still see my bees. Okay, so what I've done is I have tied my bow. I'm going to take my little wire and I'm laying it right underneath my thumb and I'm bending that wire down. I twist it. Okay, so I had to figure out, so I don't know if you can see it because I've got my stuff in the way. I have a couple of little bees on my container. And so what I think I'll do is add just a touch of greenery here to soften this edge. And I'm going to tuck my bow over here to the side. Because I love the ribbon, but I don't want it to cover up my bees. So I've got a little wood pick. And so this is called a Koei wood pick. These are 6-inch wood picks. They're our favorite length. They come in 4-inch and 6-inch, and 6 inches just right. But you do not have to use a wood pick. If you do not have one, you can always use a bamboo skewer or a stick for that matter. I'm going to take my bow and I'm going to press it right into my foam. Now I realize it's way off over here to the side, but of course, again, I want you to see my bees. So that's the reason I chose to kind of put him way off over here to the side. Okay, so to finish up this container, I'm going to soften this edge with a little bit of greenery. And let me show you what I'm talking about. You can see how it's pretty harsh. It almost looks like it's just stuck on top, right? Because I can see the whole container. I'm going to pull a little bit of foliage. These are just some berries. And I'm just going to tuck them right there along that edge.
Says, love the sunflowers and cute container. It's so summer looking.
Isn't that kind of fun? It's just a little different, isn't it? Okay. So he is not quite long enough. So I'm going to put a wood pick on the bottom. But it's going to give you the idea. I didn't bring in too many wood picks, so. And I hate to leave again.
Simona says, girls, it's very beautiful and a natural arrangement. When I saw it first, I said, wow, what a beautiful sunflower. Thank you, Simona.
All right, and there is our arrangement. So I will come back and with another little bit of greenery and kind of finish off that edge. But there you go. There is our door piece. Now, when you do a door piece in a container like this, I want you to always take into consideration how it's going to hang. Most often, if you get too many branches up here, it's going to close into the door. So if it's going to be on a door that you use often, always take into consideration how tall you make this arrangement. I'm going to turn it around. You can see here is where the container is going to hang. So you don't want your sticks and your branches and your greenery and flowers to be way too tall. That's my biggest mistake when making something like this, is I often get it too tall, and so it wants to close right in that door. So be careful there. Another thing you have to take into consideration is its weight, because it'll want to slide. And it'll want to go back and forth and slide this way. So if you have like a door hook, you may want to wire this container directly to that hook. Wire it stable so that it doesn't slip and slide, because it will slide and be hanging sideways. So that's just a couple of tips. But there we have it. There's our arrangement.
They're saying it's beautiful.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Are there any other questions, Miss Victoria?
I don't see any more questions.
All right. Yay. Thank y'all so much for being here with us this afternoon. Thank you. Thank you. And I did want to tell you, Owen wanted me to say thank you so much for going over and subscribing to our channel over on YouTube. We are at 4,000 subscribers, so that's very exciting. We appreciate you all for following us over here at YouTube, and thanks for those who watch us live on YouTube. We appreciate you so very much. I will do a live first thing in the morning, a devotion. So if anybody's interested in joining us in the morning for our devotion, I'd love for you to join me. It's at 8 o'clock in the morning here. It's over here on Facebook. So please join us if you're interested. Guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening. I will see